I am 75 years old plus 5 months. There was a case when I was perhaps around 60 years old. I was in Ireland in the summer. We had a house. The kid, my son, was growing up fine. We had a wonderful time. I had the house there for 15 years or so. Anyway, one day I said, at the time, my wife, ex-wife, this is pretty good. And she said, cannot get even better. Or maybe I said that. And she kind of agreed. And that was one of the good days. That kid, son was growing up fine. And business is fine. We had a house, enough money, traveling around, enjoying life. Things change. So this is 15 years later, perhaps. In that time period, I had divorced, some other relationship. And last year and this year coming up, I'm traveling from California, Santa Monica to Hawaii, and then to New Zealand and to Japan. So I may continue this cycle of traveling every 2, 3, 4 months to move one to the other. I'm living in more like a minimalist. I like this, maybe something to do with sustainability, but more perhaps to do with the Zen life. In Japan, I was raised and I was somewhat attracted. Why? I don't know. There's some sincerity, the truthfulness of how they live their best, devoting their life. I was interested, but I went into business and I devoted lots of time and energy. But at the same time, I had this interest of the spirituality and Zen. So those things kind of merged together, and that's where I am. After the divorce, my son seems to be doing good. I have a daughter in Japan, seems to be doing okay, maybe good. So I'm living alone, and I'm staying at my friend's place in Santa Monica, and then to go stay at my cousin's place in California, Hawaii, for a while, and then to New Zealand where I have a house, and then go to Japan in a small town. That's my plan, and spend there for 2, 3 months, and then back to California and see what happens. I thought about talking about where I am, maybe related to those experiences 15 years ago, because I felt I'm healthy enough at this old age. So like if I reflect on how I spend my time in Santa Monica, I played pickleball, then I went swimming, jacuzzi, and steam sauna, steam bath and sauna, and then back to where I am at my friend's place, checking mails and news, reading some stuff. And I do this YouTube things. I may have done some of that. Then in the afternoon, I went back to YMCA to do more stretching and weightlifting kind of exercise. Library was next door, across the street actually. It was closed, but I spent time there too. And then back to my room. Small room, and I'm happy with not much of anything except some of my paintings I did and posting here and there. I don't like to have many things, and I like the simple life. So kind of like a Zen life. In my way of thinking about Zen, being sincere and truthful to myself and doing something good for the society if I could. In the meantime, I take care of my body and seem to be healthy. So, compared to those days in Ireland, I felt like, well, I'm not missing anything. You know, and this may be the point that from here, things may go down. But I guess I'm preparing for it because at the age 75, things could go wrong, expecting in unexpected, and living the best. And in my case, I still keep research, study, all the Zen spiritual stuff, and keep posting some ideas. Not to say anything strong about spiritual, because it's just a common sense to be truthful to yourself and doing the best and helping the society if you can. And that's the way I see my life. So I have some money, but I don't need much to live. And 90% of the money goes to Vipassana. That's in my will, so that other people may experience the taste of meditation, which I got some wonderful experience and ideas, which makes me to continue to know more about myself. And still reading the stuff that I have accumulated over 40 years. Many of the books have been thrown away. I wanted to keep it because there was some issue, but I have too much. So, but I still have maybe 40, 50, 60 books. And they're like my friends. Oh, that's right. So it's not just them, but for example, I like Konosuke Matsushita, how he lived. So maybe there's an element of my work and Matsushita's work to contribute for the society. That's what work should mean. And in the meantime, we may make some money and pass, give away or pass the message to the next generation, adding some value to what we do in life. Of course, Zen may say it goes back to emptiness, or it is emptiness. But there's some wonderful sense that I seem to maintain or keep, the sense of awakening, if I may use such a word, to be aware of what's going on. Mind played its own game. I need to be careful. That's like about meditation, that you have a stable base in ourselves so that we can check and monitor how the mind is playing the game or going into the wrong direction. By have the mind being calm and quiet, we can detect that by basically being aware of what's going on. So if I were to watch this video, I'm not sure if I live another 15 years, but let's say 5 years if I could live. I like to see how I would reflect my time now in the sense which basically says I have a simple life I take care of my body, relationship around the best I can, and not too much emphasis on money or fame, because that causes more trouble. Like more I had money, I had more trouble. So simpler life, be aware of what's going on. And I use the word transparency. I think that's something to do with empty mind. When the mind is calm and empty, you have the sense of transparency within, connecting to the root, aliveness of how things are happening. So hopefully I'll maintain and move on for the next whatever time I've got. Just a brief reflection of who I am, what I do, what my plan is. May all beings be happy.